Hi everyone, Steve here. Welcome again to this episode of Monday Morning Musing. I would like to talk to you just for a few minutes about the exalted beauty of the gospel of reconciliation. At the cross, Jesus said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." That phrase, we could spend hour upon hour upon hour unpacking it. In human history, in any of the pagan religions, Judaism even, when you have failed to live appropriately under the instructions or the guidelines of the deity, what could you as a human being expect? What portion would be yours? If you let the God down, there's one or two things going to happen. He's going to get you, or you've got to make some sacrifice to make that God happy, so he doesn't smite your flocks or cause you to have stillbirths or whatever. You see it in Deuteronomy. It's very quid pro quo. If you do this, good stuff's going to happen to you. But if you don't obey my laws, boy, bad stuff's going to happen to you. And yet we come to the cross, and for the first time, really, for the first time in any expression of human religion on planet Earth since the dawn of humanity, the injustice done against the deity is not met with retribution. Couple of beautiful things to see here. Number one of Jesus' sayings from the cross when he died is this: "Father, into your hands I release my spirit." King James says commit. I release my spirit. That is the ultimate act of trust. That even at the point of the abyss of the darkness of death, the Son had released the last shred of anything associated with human self-determination. Is there anything more compulsive in the sense of a human drive for existence than to contend for our own life? Jesus voluntarily releases it into the hands of his Father. Now, we know the story, the resurrection story. Again, a marvelous thing. We could spend hours unpacking all the significance of that. But here's where I'd like to end with today. 40 days after Jesus had released his spirit to his Father, the Father gives back as a gift to the very species that was complicit in betraying him, lying about him, and murdering him. Folks, that has cosmic implications. First, it's an insight into the benevolent nature of God. And remember, they were gathered in the upper room and they're afraid. Why are they afraid? They're afraid for multiple reasons. They're afraid the Romans are going to get them. They're afraid the Jews are going to get them. And they're afraid God is going to get them. Because we didn't defend him, or we tried and he told us to put our swords away, or we abandoned him, in Peter's case. Peter being a representative of the whole. And what happens in that room when the deity appears? He appears with this on his lips: peace, don't be afraid. The Father gave back to humanity the murderous, unfaithful species, the spirit that Jesus voluntarily let go of on the cross. And not just Jesus' human spirit, but the spirit of a human being in resurrection in the person of the indwelling Holy Spirit. What kind of God behaves that way in the face of unjust, violent, murderous, bestial, debasing, degrading treatment to the gift that is in his person in the Son? I'll tell you what kind of God. A God whose goodness is beyond anything we can imagine. A God whose benevolence and goodwill is beyond understanding. I think it's very interesting. The beginning of the Christian story starts with, don't be afraid. Peace, shalom. And the temporal Christian story ends with, don't be afraid, shalom. Do you think that there's a fundamental condition in humanity, or that there might be a fundamental condition in humanity that was done away with, or should be done away with, in the revealing of the heart of the Father in those actions? I do, and it's simply this. God is benevolent for you, for the sinner, more than we could possibly imagine. And that's why Paul could call it so great a salvation. We can live all our days and not reach bottom on this, but it's worth our meditations. I'll see you the next time.